Hello, my name is Alan Shepard. In today's demonstration, I'm going to be showing you how to create an OnBase Directory Import Process. The Directory Import Process, or DRIP for short, is a process that imports large image files into OnBase. The structure of the directory and the file names of the images are used to classify and index documents during import. The first thing you need to do is launch the OnBase configuration module. From here, you would select the Directory Import Processor and then add a process. Give your process a name. For today's demo, I will call it demo. Hit enter, and then go ahead and select demo import, and you're going to browse out to where your images are living. So, on my system, I have them under the C drive, and I have it in this folder called demo import. Click OK, and then select process options. Under process options, you have multiple choices. The one that is required to use is the disk group. You have to assign where these images are going to be stored once they're imported. And the system here, we're going to call it data. Under the options, you can actually add documents to workflow if these documents are workflow documents. If not, then you would not select them. So back under processing, I'll click save. And under processing, I'm going to select delete files after import. You can actually have them just stay there if you like. Click apply. And then under your demo import, right click, and you're going to create a mapping to the folder that actually holds the images. So we're going to add a subfolder, and this subfolder has to be named exactly like the images that you are bringing in. So for today's example, I'm going to bring in non-PO. Actually, I should call it non-PO invoice. Hit enter. Once you select non-PO invoice, you're going to select the actual document type that this is mapped to. And I am going to select AP non-PO invoices and click apply. From here, you're going to actually lay out the field mapping for these, and we're going to use an ordered field mapping, and we're going to use the actual file name to populate the fields. So I'm going to select file name source, and then go over here and select this again, and from here I'm going to map the keywords to the actual file name. Here I actually have the name of the file for ease. I copied it into Notepad so I know what fields to use. The first field is actually called vendor name right here. The second field here is the actual invoice date. I'm going to map that. And this field here is the invoice number, and this field here is the invoice total. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 fields I'm going to map. So in order to do that, you select one here, and you always have to put in a separator, and in this instance I am using commas to separate the values. So we'll put a comma down here. The first field is vendor name, so I'll go down here, and unfortunately this only gives you all of the keywords that are in OnBase. It's not specific to the actual document type that you selected, unfortunately. So if I hit the number V, then I'll hit vendor name, and then I'm going to add it. The second is the invoice date, so I will select I, for invoice date. Which is right here, and I'll add it. The third field is invoice number. So from the drop down, I will hit the I again and select invoice number. I will click add. The fourth field is actually the invoice total amount. So I will select I again, scroll down, and it is called invoice total. And if you have date fields or number fields like amount or total amount or tax, you actually have to format these fields. So under the date format, if you look at the date that I have here, it has leading zeros for the day and the month and only a 2-digit year. So in the formatting, I will select, it is month, day, year, it is numeric, and it is not the full month. The separator is an underscore, so I will select the underscore. The day has a leading zero. The century is not a century, it's only a 2-digit month, and the month leading zero has a leading zero also. So I will save this. And the other one is the invoice number. Or excuse me, I did not add the total here. So we will select invoice total. And then we will add it. And this one actually has to be formatted because it's an amount. So this one is pretty simple. We just had to add a decimal place and how many digits. So my example only has a decimal place and 2 digits for the decimal. So I will apply this. And that is pretty much it. After we hit apply, we hit close. And in order to test it, we will go to our client. Because I made changes in config and I haven't updated my client, I will relaunch my client. And in the client, you will select Processing, Directory Import Processor. As you can see, this is my new process. I will right-click on it and select Directory Import Processor. And for demonstration purposes, I'll just do a test and I'll hit Process. And as you can see, it found one non-PO invoice, and that is it. If I wanted to actually process it, I would uncheck Test Only, hit Process, and click Exit, and it should be in awaiting commit. So here's my demo import, and here is the image that I brought in. It's from Boone Electric. This is the invoice number, and this is the amount. And if you looked at the image, this is the actual image. That concludes today's demo. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.